Neil deGrasse Tyson. Again, here we go. There was a recent piece here, about this guy, this astronomer, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And of course, this appeared in gearpatrol.com. This is an online source. I'll leave the link for this one too. And he's asked about UFOs, and it's just unbelievable the stuff he says here. He's always, every time UFOs comes up, deGrasse Tyson always talks about nonsense here. And here we go again. It's just as bad. But we're going to go through this here. It says. The guy asked him, speaking of, what do you think all that UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena stuff, now that it's more front of mind for everyone? I'm just genuinely curious to know your thoughts on all this. And here's his response. We'll go through this. It says, so first of all, who are they fooling? Unidentified aerial phenomena, it's a UFO. They're just trying to rebrand it. What the hell's wrong with them? They're just rebranding it. They're not fooling anybody. That's point A. Well, let's just stop here for a minute. Actually, they're rebranding it again. The UAP will stay there, but I suppose now it's going to be changed to unidentified anomalous phenomena. Anyway, and I actually agree with him. I actually agree with him on that board. Why not just keep it at UFOs? But they wanted to rebrand it because the connotation that the word UFO was brought up. Basically, they wanted to change it to something else, UAP, because after years and years, decades and decades of stigmatizing UFOs, that anybody who saw UFOs were crazy. Well, of course, they needed to change that. Because 5 years ago, when apparently somebody decided within the Pentagon for this slow disclosure, which right now seems to be in limbo, like I've been talking about recently. But anyway, 5 years ago, when the slow disclosure began, there was discussion. There was obviously an effort to try to rebrand it, and that's what they did. But anyway, continuing. So that was his point A. Point B, it seems to me, just spitballing here, that if Earth is being visited by aliens from another planet, it would not require congressional hearings to establish. I'm just thinking, just putting it out there, aliens visit, Congress has to meet to decide if it's real. That's my first point. Okay, let's stop here. Let's just stop here, how ridiculous that is. Just think about what he's saying here. He actually doesn't have, from his presentation of the facts here, of what he believes, what he sees, how he sees this world. He has no idea that there's a government cover-up. He has no clue, obviously. That's what it seems like. Unless he's just acting stupid, but to me, how could you not realize? This has nothing to do with the Congress, for one thing. The Congress, obviously, these people in Congress for decades, obviously, had no idea what's been going on behind the scenes within the military-industrial complex. They have no idea, how this thing has been being kept a secret for all these decades. Obviously, he doesn't know anything about it. To make this kind of comment, it's just ridiculous. That's absurd. Anyway, his second point, in the last 6 months, we've been treated to high-resolution stereoscopic imagery from the surface of Mars obtained by an SUV-sized rover plunked down. Oh, by the way, that rover carried a helicopter. You've seen the last few seconds of a high-res image of a moonlet of an asteroid that was slammed into the DART mission to change its orbit to protect the future of Earth so it doesn't fall into harm's way from a future asteroid. You saw the entire surface of that. We folded a telescope, stuck it in a rocket fairing, launched it to 1 million miles away from Earth, unfurled it, pointed it at the edge of the universe, and we have detailed images of galaxies being born. You're telling me there's an alien in front of your airplane and the best you can do is a fuzzy monochromatic tic-tac? Really? And that's in our atmosphere? It's there? The plane can see it? Really? Now let's just stop here for a second. Now he's basically saying that because of the tic-tac is this monochromatic image that the government released to us. Now you have to remember, there was only, for one thing, there was only those videos back in 2017 that were leaked by somebody within the Pentagon, and one of those videos was the Tic Tac. He's talking about that, one of those videos, right? That's all we ever got from the government. We don't know what else they have. They haven't been showing us. In fact, just recently there were efforts by John Greenwald of the Black Vault to get a whole bunch of Navy videos from the Navy, and he was denied. He appealed and he was denied again. They're not giving us, they're not showing us what they have. All we ever had was 3 videos. There has to be a lot more than that. But anyway, let's continue. He goes on here. He says, not only that, there's 6 billion smartphones in the world, last time I checked, and each phone can take high-resolution photographs and video. If a kitten jumps from the table to the back of the couch and falls, that goes viral. Do you think if anyone got a video of an alien, it wouldn't go viral? There's 1 million people at any given moment airborne, with windows looking out into the air. You have satellite photos now of nearly every square inch of Earth's surface. We have crowdsourced an alien invasion, crowdsourced it. In the 60s and 70s, there was okay, we'll stop there before we continue. I just want to go on with what he's saying here about the cell phones. Okay, again, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, again, I've talked about this, dozens of times on this podcast. When these things happen, you're never prepared for it, right? Nobody's ever prepared for it. I mean, we're just talking about this guy taking a picture, and the cop who pulled over took the picture of the Tic Tac. He was lucky he got that picture, because seconds later the thing was gone. It's always been this way. It's hard to get a picture of these things. They don't want to be filmed, obviously. They don't want to be seen. They don't want people to know what they're up to. But again, this is all, all these things. I mean, the stuff he's talking about sending these satellites and things to filming Mars and the planet. That's easy to do, because you're in control of everything. You know what you're about to film. Or when they're sending the picture of the asteroid, they know what they're about to film. This whole argument is completely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. When it comes to flying saucers and encounters with aliens, right? It's not like they're going to stand there and let you and pose for you. It doesn't work that way. But again, this goes to show either his ignorance or deliberate stupidity. I'm not sure which one it is. I really don't know. And then I'll continue here. It says, we have crowdsourced an alien invasion. Crowdsourced it. In the 60s and 70s, there was a psychologist named John Mack who specialized in interviewing people who said they were abducted. That's where you get the stories of the anal probes and the gonadal. He found these accounts to be so repeatable that, out of his sample size, he then multiplied it up to the full population of the country, he said. There must be 1 million people who experience this, abducted. Nowadays, you can stream what your phone sees. If an alien is taking you onto a flying saucer, you can stream that. In the era of the smartphone, there is no such video. Okay, again, this is something he says. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. He thinks that when people get abducted, that they're basically just brought on and given a free tour, basically, and they can do whatever they want. They could, it's not like that, Neil. I mean, what are you talking about? You don't have any control. They're not going to let you. It's not like you bring your cell phone. Hey, stand over there in the corner by the control panel while I take your picture. This is absurd, totally absurd arguments that he's making here. Unbelievable. Oh. You have to wonder. I mean, I talked about this before. This guy, is he like deliberately stupid? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand how somebody of his intelligence could make comments like this. It's just so absurd. It shows his ignorance and not either. Like, again, I'm not sure. I've talked about this before. I'm starting to wonder if maybe some of these people, right? Some of these people that are popular in the field of science, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, a famous astronomer, right? If they're just being deliberately stupid, because I find it hard to believe that he really, because it's either he is deliberately stupid or he really is really stupid when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's either one or the other. That's unbelievable that he would make comments like this. It's a complete, he doesn't have any understanding of this. He has done no research on this at all. He has done nothing, none. And he calls himself a scientist. He has not looked at any of the data that's been collected over the years, any of the research that's been done. He hasn't looked at any of it, obviously. I mean, like, I can't believe it. It's just unbelievable.